Well, in honor of this video, I obviously had to wear number 52 because he is now no longer wearing the blue and orange anymore for the Chicago Bears. So, obviously, as you guys know, I'm a Chicago Bears fan. Came for 15 talk sports people here, and even people on my main channel. Just as a quick update, Bears videos will continue to go up on my main channel as well as my sports channel. But yes, news of the day, especially for Chicago Bears fans, is the fact that Khalil Mack has been traded to the Los Angeles Chargers for a second round pick of this year, and a 2023 sixth round pick, and the Chargers will be taking on the remaining part of Khalil Mack's salary. Now, let me talk about the Chargers aspect and all things, since I want to be as non-biased as I can for a portion of this trade video. I don't want to be completely biased. And since I'm also uploading this to my regular sports channel, even though this is also directly a Bears video too, what are the Chargers going to get in Khalil Mack? Well, they're going to get a pass rusher, and it's going to make their defense even better. Again, an unstoppable pass rusher, especially in the division they are in now. Now, make it to where the Raiders, Chiefs, and Broncos, especially with Russell Wilson now, all we have to deal with is Joey Bosa. Now they're going to have to deal with a Khalil Mack that is coming off a injury that he got surgery from, and he was out the entire year. He's gonna be more rejuvenated, probably the most healthy. So the Chargers chose a great time to trade for him. And with him and Joey Bosa, that Chargers defense is gonna be something special. Again, we're gonna have to see how that Chargers defense forms and everything, but that's another solid player that they're getting from the Chicago Bears that is going to make their defense even better, and it's going to scare the living daylights out of freaking Russell Wilson, Derek Carr, and Patrick Mahomes. Now you got that. Now, my only thing for the Chargers fans who are checking this video out is my thoughts on the aspect of Khalil Mack. He's going to give you great production. He's going to put a lot of pressure on the quarterback, and now you line him alongside of Joey Bosa. These are two type of pass rush players where it's like, you're supposed to freaking double team at least one of them. Now you got to at least double team one of them and let another one at least go single up or go one-on-one with. But the only concern with Khalil Mack is, I would say for Chargers fans, is the best thing you can hope for, he doesn't get hurt too much. Yeah, maybe he'll take a few nicks and bruises because that's what's going to happen in the NFL season. But, you better hope he doesn't, throughout, his contract, especially the fact that he's getting paid a lot of money. You hope that he doesn't get hurt where he's missing games and stuff like that, which could end up biting you in the butt. And then you're just paying a lot of contract to an injured guy. But like I said, Khalil Mack recently got surgery this past season. So he's going to go into this season being the most healthy. I also take, I guess, the Chargers saw this playbook, saw this as the playbook with the team in their own building, also to just won a Super Bowl. Their team they played, the Rams had an offense. The defense was okay, but they solidified that with a few things, and they saw, the Rams added a pass rusher alongside of Aaron Donald, and they got Von Miller. And he had some very critical sacks in the Super Bowl. So let's see if we can somewhat do the same thing. So they're taking a page out of what the Rams did. And like I said, Justin Herbert's still on his rookie deal, still killing it. They also re-signed Mike Williams. The Chargers will be looking like a fresh team, a really good team. The only problem is with the Chargers, I always see every year, is their consistency. The question is, can they be consistent all year long, where they don't end up losing to teams like the Houston Texans, where they get blown out? So that was going to be the thing that's going to happen there. So, I think the Chargers still need to add some few more pieces. I think they don't really need to add anything offensively. I still think they need to bolster up that defense and stuff like that. Like, think their linebacking core and another safety and stuff like that. And they should be solid. But anyways, you obviously came here for my thoughts since I'm a Bears fan wearing his jersey. What are my thoughts on the Bears' approach of Khalil Mack trading him? Now I'll say this. I am not I am not shocked that the Bears traded away Khalil Mack. I'm not shocked about that. I figured if the Bears were going to trade away Khalil Mack, you'd find some way to do it and somehow to get draft picks in return for him. Because Ryan Poles has consistently said he wants to build the Bears through the draft. And obviously, that's what he wants to do, which was the complete opposite of what the other Ryan did. He always wanted to sign and overpay for free agent talent. And guess what? That happened. It made you lose draft picks. And guess what? You never, ever win anything. And Ryan Pace was trying to literally kill all the picks the Bears had for some washed up veterans. That, guess what? Sometimes they actually worked. Sometimes they didn't. But, regardless, this trade essentially signifies that the Bears, we're going to have to see more moves that the Bears make, but this trade essentially signifies that the Bears are going to be it looks like it's starting to be in a rebuild. Now, the Bears end up trading away Robert Quinn. Okay, now I'm going to full out say this is a full-on rebuild. Personally, if you ask me, frick it, screw it, blow this entire dang team up. Blow the veterans up, trade some people away, accumulate draft pick compensation. Now, the one thing I do not like this trade about is the fact that we cannot find some way to get a first-round pick for Khalil Mack. The reasoning why I say this as a Bears fan is we traded 2 first-round picks to get him to come over here. You couldn't get a first-round pick in return, Mr. Ryan Poles? So I'll say that's my negative of this trade for the Bears standpoint. I thought you could get a first-round pick, but a lot of people are saying, well, Von Miller, when he was traded to the Rams, they didn't have to give up a first-round pick. They gave like a second and third-round pick for him. I don't care. You should still find a way to get a first pick for a Khalil Mack. But whatever. Deal with it. You get cap space off the books. You essentially signify to your fan base, well, this may not be a favorable move, but hey, we got to do what we got to do to find a way to get better for the future. Mind you, Bear fans that are upset at this trade. This trade is strictly supposed to help build for the future. We're not here for the now. You saw the past 3 years what the Bears tried to do to try to put all their chips into the basket to try to come out and see if they can win some sort of championship. And guess what? Ryan Poles saw through that, and so there's no chance this roster can even contend within the next year. I said this, the Bears can potentially trend based on the moves Ryan Pace makes, and depending on how Justin Fields looks 2-3 years from now will determine if we can be a contender by 2024, 2025. This is what's going to happen. There's going to be what Ryan Poles is trying to do is make a small, short rebuild in the span of time. This means develop players, get at least has assigned these young players alongside some solid veteran players, and hopefully your young quarterback, who you hope to be the franchise of this team, turns out to be a great quarterback for your team. And then you can talk about Super Bowls. And then that's when you can start getting to the phase of what the Rams always said is F them picks, where you can trade these picks you accumulated over time to guess what? Get that to where you can get top-end, high-end talent to come into your building and you can actually go out there and try to contend for a Super Bowl. So that's what this move tells me. This is what this move tells me. And that's what Bear fans need to understand. I said this before and I'll say it again. I said this thousands of times in my game recaps in the past 3 years. I said the best thing the Bears need to do for the future of the organization to get them into a quicker position to contend for a Super Bowl is just go to a flat-out rebuild. And Ryan Poles seemingly is getting that. He's understanding we cannot have guys like a Khalil Mack, even though he's great in his own right, but he's always hurt for us and he's not going to help us in the future. He's getting to the other side of 30, especially with the injuries. We need to cut him loose now. So let's get some compensation back in return for him that we can use to help build our team for the future. Especially with how start-studded this draft is, you need all the draft picks you can get. That's why I'm saying, if the Bears trade Robert Quinn and I see that headline, I won't be shocked. Is it going to be very bad for Eberflus and Allen Williams, the fact that they won't be able to use the players that they probably is the reason why they signed here in the first place? But I wouldn't be shocked that the GM Ryan Poles talked to Eberflus and Allen Williams. Listen, we got to do something. We got to find a way to get better. You guys got to develop these players like a Travis Gibson, who looks to be a promising young pass rushing player that could be a replacement and stuff like that. And like I said, for people mad at this trade, you can find a pass rusher. You can find a pass rusher to fix. And this is what I'm talking about. Ryan Poles is fixing the offense. The offense is the problem. Fixing an offense in today's NFL is hard because you got to make sure these picks hit. Because if they don't hit, your offense is going to be sluggish and it's going to be terrible. Defense, yeah, you can have a few years of bad defense, but guess what? They saw what the Cincinnati Bengals did. They had a bad defense, but guess what? You get some solid players in there and you develop those solid defensive players, they can end up being star-studded players. You can replace defensive players with utter ease. Now, yes, am I quote-unquote saying you can't replace some impact of Khalil Mack? No, you can't probably, but you can still find a draft pick in the draft and be like, he doesn't have to be like a Khalil Mack, but he can give us some damn good sack numbers and some damn types of pressures and all this other stuff. You know, you can replace defensive players. Defensive players, if, developed rightly, can turn out to be great NFL players. It's easy, especially with how loaded defenses are in college and everything. You can find and develop these defensive players. That stuff's easy. Offense is where it's at now. And Ryan Poles wants to build an offense around Justin Fields so he can not only improve, but also have the offense going in the right direction. And then guess what? You can start building the defense back up and making it good. Obviously, this also means that maybe Roquan Smith might stay, especially if it's another breakout season again. I think he's going to be the main young piece leading the charge for this new Bears on the defensive side of the ball. But this is what this trade is truly about. It's getting cap space. It's freeing up cap space for the offseason, as well as getting draft compensation in return so the Bears can build throughout the draft. That's what Ryan Poles said. He wants to build through the draft. So Bear fans are going to be mad about this. Listen, if you really thought we were going to contend next year for a Super Bowl, let's get something straight. We are not. And for Bear fans are going to be mad, I can't wait this how many years and stuff like that. Well, then guess what? You don't believe in the Bears and you don't believe where they're going with. Some of these moves might not be favorable. I didn't like the fact that we didn't get a first-round pick, but I'm fine with trading Khalil Mack. I didn't want him gone, but I understand the reason why we had to trade him. Why keep him? He's not going to be here long-term. He's not in long-term plans. You know who's in the long-term plans? Justin Fields. That's the guy in the long-term plans. So, that's the thing there, man. It sucks to see Khalil Mack go. That 2018 season, he was a monster. He really was. In the last couple of years, I thought he was still good. But I really, truly never felt that Khalil Mack gave us that 2018 version of himself, since then in 2019 and 2020. And he did look good to start off 2021 season, but he ended up getting surgery because he got hurt and everything. But the best thing I can say is good luck to Khalil Mack in Los Angeles. I think he's going to kill it. And, hopefully he finds a way to get the Chargers to get to a Super Bowl. It's going to be very tough, but, it's going to be really freaking good. So, that's going to suck. But, for Bears fans, we're just going to have to deal with it. And understandably, I'm okay with the trade. I understand what this trade is going to signify and what this trade is going to mean, and I'm perfectly fine with that. And, it's the start of the rebuild. I've been calling for it. Start the rebuild. It's the only way the Bears are going to get to a better outcome to where this team's going to improve in the near future than wasting our time with a player paying so much money who always gets mixed up and hurt and stuff like that. And he's taking up cap space when we could have used cap space to go sign other players. And like I said, we may not be able to find another pass rusher that can give us consistent numbers like Khalil Mack did, but it's easy to find them in the draft, and it's easy to even trade for them too. Who's to say that maybe next time we end up trading for a big-time pass rusher, we don't have to freaking trade 2 first-round picks for a pass rusher. Maybe next time we can do what the freaking Rams and the Chargers did. Just give up a 2nd-round pick and a 3rd-round pick or a late-round pick for a pass rusher. We don't have to do what Ryan Pace desperately needed to do, and that's trade and get fleeced by the Raiders. So I guess all in all, you can say this trade by Ryan Pace was really truly a failure, which is another indictment on Ryan Pace, because guess what? Khalil Mack never finished out his career with the Bears. He ended up getting traded. And listen, for Bear fans that are going to be mad about this, okay, fine, be mad. But just understand, Ryan Poles, he went through this roster, and he's looking through this roster, and he's saying, what guys can I unload off of that I just don't see in the vision long-term for this team? And I won't be shocked if Robert Quinn's traded away. Now, I personally believe if Khalil Mack couldn't get you a first-round pick, Robert Quinn can definitely get you a first-round pick after the way he played. He literally the way he played now, if you trade Robert Quinn, you can get him at his highest. You can't get Robert Quinn for a first-round pick. So if we're looking into trading Robert Quinn too, Ryan Poles has no excuse not to get a first-round pick out of him after the season he had. Literally. Broke a single sack record for the Bears. You can get a first-round pick for Robert Quinn. If you look at the statistics, what he gave you last year, you better be asking, team, you want Robert Quinn? Give me a first-round pick, and I'll give him to you right there. So, yes. Now, what does this trade also mean for other Bears players in this team? Well, I'll say this. Other Bear players like an Eddie Jackson, a Robert Quinn, Tariq Cohen, you should be shaking in your damn boots, because guess what? Ryan Poles, essentially, seemingly enough, is probably going to keep most of the young talent on this team, the promising ones. And he's going to offload the one of the guys that might not be here. Eddie Jackson could be another guy that, hey, surprisingly, a team is dumb enough to take his contract too. And good Lord, I'll be happy. Because freaking Eddie Jackson, I don't want to tackle. I can only freaking take picks, can go away. Robert Quinn, I understand. You want to free up more cap space? And you're getting a first round, maybe picks in return. Understandable. Tariq Cohen, you can get this guy out of town. I believe Tariq Cohen, honestly, is going to be the next guy traded before Robert Quinn's traded. Because guess what? The way Ryan Poles has been talking about Tariq Cohen, it don't look promising. Tariq Cohen saying down in freaking comment section, I don't know if I can play and stuff like that. You know, I really don't know. Okay, then he can get out of here too. Because I don't want guys on my team that don't know if they don't want to play football no more. I want guys that are going to be here and be committed to playing for my team, the Chicago Bears. I'm sick and tired of these crap. Hopefully, this means this regime is the type of regime that is tired of the BS. Anyways, that's my thoughts. So, Bear fans, don't be shocked if you see other good players on this team end up potentially being traded, especially for draft picks. Because I think Ryan Poles wants to accumulate as much draft capital back that Ryan Pace literally gave away for free, so we can end up having really good players on this team that can help build the future alongside him. Like I said, if we can trade away Robert Quinn and end up getting a first-round pick for him, well then, Bear fans were talking about Chris Olave being drafted is literally impossible. Well, that makes a lot more things possible, right? So, yeah. Anyways, Khalil Mack been traded away to the Chargers. Bear fans, put in the comment section your thoughts on the trade. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Are you in the middle about it? And Charger fans, put in the comment section your thoughts on the trade. Do you love this trade? And NFL fans in general, what are your thoughts about the trade? Do you think it was time? Or do you think the Bears are making a mistake? But anyways, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Again, I'll continue not only for my Cam for 15 Sports, Talk Sports channel for you guys. I'll make sure to update every freaking sports news I can, and stuff like that. I'm gonna probably end up recording my MLB baseball is now finally back video right now, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's good. So I'll do that. And then, like I said, on my main channel, I'll still upload Bears content there. That'll strictly just be Bears content there, because obviously some of my subscriber base over there are Bears fans and stuff like that. But other than that, guys, not only hit the subscribe button to my main channel, Cam for 15, but hit the subscribe button to my sports channel, Cam for 15 Talk Sports. Again, for each of those, whatever channel you're watching it off, I'll leave a link in the description to one of the other channels. My main channel, I'm not only gonna be talking Bears, but I also talk anime and movies and stuff like that over there. But my sports channel, which is Cam 15 Talk Sports, I strictly talk sports. But other than that, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Hopefully, you guys have a great rest of your day. And even though this may strictly just be an NFL video, but I'm still gonna say it for my Chicago Bears fans: bear down. It's gonna be all right. The rebuild's starting. We're gonna be in a better place 5-6 years, and hopefully we're looking back and say, you know what, the Khail Mack trade was actually good. Thank you, Ryan Poles. Anyways, guys, catch you guys later. Stay safe out there. Peace.